Hey there, welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. I'm starting on a new cookbook, so there's going to be quite a few recipes involving fish. Fish is not a bad thing, it's actually good for trying to lose weight as well. So this is what we're cooking. It's called fillets of plaice Tivoli. Now, plaice is a fillet that you can't really buy in Australia, not that I've had time to go and look. So I had some hoki in the freezer, so I'm going to use that in place of. So maybe later, as I start to get into fuller, more fish recipes, I might have to go and try and get different fish. But for now, I had frozen fish in the freezer that needs to be used up. So I thought this dish would be a good one for it. Okay, so let's go. So when we start cooking on the stovetop, you'll see a saucepan simmering behind. That is some potatoes that I've had for quite a while. I'm just going to cook them up, hope that they're okay, and I'm going to make mashed potato to go with this said recipe. So, as I said, I haven't got plaice. I've got hoki instead, and I've chopped that up. The leek I've got, it basically was just half of a leek, so the rest has gone in the freezer. The tomatoes a bit more than 100 grams, but that's all good. Apple cider, you can use alcoholic or non-alcoholic. I'm using the non-alcoholic one that I've been using for the last few times. This one that I brought in Woolworths, it's really nice to drink in the rest of it too, so all good. Yeah, so this one's going to cook on the stovetop, and we want a heavy frying pan, or maybe even a wok. I might get the wok out, not the electric wok though, I'll just get the normal wok out. Alright, so let's go. Okay, so I actually haven't weighed the fish, so I'm just, if it's too much, it's all good, it's fish. It's not going to hurt you. Alright, so pop that in a bowl. Feel like all I've been doing all day is putting fish into bowls, but there you go. Into this we need half a cup of plain flour. I didn't measure this part out, obviously. I've been good. I got everything else ready except probably one of the critical ingredients. Not too critical though. I'm going to get a spoon because otherwise I feel like I'm going to have a repeat of today when I made biscuits and I put flour all over the floor. Not literally, but close enough. Okay, that's our half a cup. Sprinkle it over the top. Now we're making seasoned flour. Seasoned flour is just basically chuck salt and pepper in with it, so don't be scared of it. I'm using the cracked black pepper. You may or may not know I don't mind the taste of pepper, so I'll put a bit more in there. If you don't like a lot, don't use a lot. If you don't like it at all, don't use any. And same thing with salt. If you're trying not to eat a lot of salt, don't put much salt in. Okay. I'd just grab a spoon for this part and just give it a really good stir. So we're basically just coating it in the flour. Okay. So I ended up getting my stovetop wok out because it's sort of probably going to be better. You can use a saucepan or a frying pan, but I just thought maybe the wok would be nice for a change. Alright. Into the wok, we need 1/4 cup of oil. I'm going to use olive oil. I didn't use it all up. Oh, you know what? For the sake of a glug, I'm using it all up. Alright. It's garbage bin night, so that's a good call. Alright, let's go over to the stovetop. There are my potatoes trying to boil away there. As I said, I don't know how good they're going to be. I'm now at the stage where I'm only going to buy potatoes as I need them because I really realised I don't eat many potatoes. It used to be mashed potato with everything, but now it's hardly any mashed potato. Okay, we're just going to get that nice and hot. And in goes that fish. Just try and spread it out a little bit. Okay, beautiful. Now grab a plate of some sort to put the fish in once we get it out. So as you know, you may not know, but here's a go. Fish does not take long to cook. So this is why we're not leaving it in here for too long. So we're going to grab just a tin plate, or grab a plate or a bowl, whatever you want. That's just to put the fish on once we've got it at a ready stage. Alright, so while that's frying, we'll get the next bit ready. Okay. While cooking this, I'd suggest not a wooden spoon, a slotted spoon. Watch this. We can just pick it up and flip it straight over. Okay, see how it's going a nice golden colour? That's what we want. Now rest assured if you're not sure if it's cooked, because we do put it back in at the end. I think we do anyway. I will be, mainly because I'm going to be dishing it up into servings. Try not to stir it up too much because you want the flour to stay on it. Right, I'm going to grab a knife and see if my potatoes are cooking. Well, they're soft. Okay, I think my potatoes might be okay. I don't know how old they were, but all I can tell you is that I would have brought them before my ma passed away and before she went into hospital. So let's just say quite a while before Christmas would be their age. So I had to actually look up to see if it was safe to use the potatoes. They're not like sprouting or anything like that, so should be fine. And don't stress about any flour left on the bottom because it will deglaze once we put the cider in. I've just turned the heat down. Alright, I think what we'll do now is we will lift this out. Just remove this wooden spoon. Just lift this out because it's going to be easier. So this is basically like going to look like a fish stew, I guess. Alright, chuck in the leek. We want to fry that leek up. There's only 50 grams of the leek, which was basically just about the first quarter of the bottom of the leek. We're also putting in the tomato that we've de-seeded. We didn't need to de-seed it. All we needed to do was skin it. So to skin it, you turn it upside down, put a cross in it, soak it in boiling water for about a minute or two, put it into cold water the shock between the two actually makes the skin peel back. And then you just peel it off and then you just cut it. Okay, in goes that cider. That's actually smelling pretty good. Chicken stock cube. I've got the OXO chicken stock cubes. These ones are really good ones. You just crumble this over the top. Now, I had a little stumble on another ingredient. I have never seen powdered thyme. I also have never looked for it. So I'm just using a normal thyme leaf. I guess you can get powdered thyme. Could probably put it in the mortar and pestle and make it powdered thyme as well. I might have to Google later to see if there is such thing as powdered thyme. Some of these recipe books that I use are sometimes for overseas recipes as well. Obviously, this year I will go for MasterChef again, and both my parents, who are no longer with us unfortunately, were both born in England, so normally people on MasterChef, if you've watched it, you'll see they'll always do foods from their heritage and their cooking. So I will be no different. So I will be trying to learn a lot of traditional British recipes. So I'm in the middle of sort of trying to find a lot with British recipes, and I had actually started writing them in a journal, but with work and other stuff, that journal has not been touched for a while. So like everything, I will get back to it. Alright, so this is the base of our I wouldn't really call it a stew. It's more like maybe a mini hot pot. We are going to put 2 chopped mint leaves in. Now, my mint leaves have been in the freezer. They're still mint leaves, so I'm just going to tear them up. And there's more than 2. I can count, but I can't this time. I would love to be able to grow mint in my kitchen like I can grow basil. For some reason, I don't use much basil. And the basil is really tall now. Look at this. Excuse the dishes in the sink. That basil plant I brought, and whenever I put basil right there, it grows. If I put anything else there, it does not grow. Very weird. Very, very weird. Okay, that ice block thing that I put in there, not literally an ice block, that was possibly the equivalent of 3 tablespoons of tomato paste. I have put 150 mils of apple cider in as well. As I said, the thyme, powdered thyme, I'm just going to use like about 1/4 of a teaspoon. This is a 1/2 teaspoon, so I'm just going to get the flavouring of the thyme into that. We're going to let that simmer for about 5 minutes, and then we're going to put the fish back on the top, and then I'm going to serve it up. So while that's going on, I'm going to see if I can make mashed potato. Okay, good news. I just managed to mash my potato and I put some butter in and it all looks good. This is nearly ready, so I'm just going to pop the fish back on top. Just so that way I can mix it all in together. Because this is supposed to serve 4, so I suggest you bulk it up with either some mashed potato or some bread. I'm just going to stir the fish through. There we go. Just got to make sure your fish is cooked through, but you don't want it overcooked. Especially if you are doing what I'm doing with 2 servings, I'm going to be freezing it. If you freeze it, it'll go. You'll have to warm it up, so it technically will be overcooked then. And of course, if you've got leftovers the next night, you're warming it up anyway, so yeah, just a tip. Try not to overcook it. Alright, well, when that's done to your liking, you can dish it up and enjoy. Thank you for watching Cooking with Violet Vixen. First episode of many cooking with fish, and this one has been called Fillets of Plaice Tivoli. Alright, I'm going to catch you on our next adventure. Bye. Ah, I bet you thought, what's she doing with the dill? Where's the dill going? Well, you put the dill on top when you serve it. So, dill, once again, I've had this in the freezer. Best way to do this is you just get some scissors and you cut it. I'm just putting it over the top of everything. You don't need much of it. It can be quite overpowering. Alright, there you go. Now we are finished. We're dishing it up and we're eating. Eating well. Alright, take care. I'll catch you next time. Bye.